Hello, everyone. I'm Natasha, and I'm so happy to be with you again today. If you're trying to improve your English, especially your speaking and listening skills, then you are in the right place. Today, we're going to learn something really useful and practical: how to talk about your day in English. This is one of the most important skills you need if you want to communicate well in everyday situations. Whether you're a beginner at the A1 level or you're progressing into A2, this video is designed just for you. We will go step by step through how to describe your day, how to use the correct grammar and vocabulary, and how to build confidence through listening and speaking practice. So stay with me until the end, because we're going to include real-life examples, mini stories, and practice exercises that will help you speak more fluently about your daily routine. Let's begin by imagining a simple day in your life. Think about when you wake up, what you do in the morning, how you go to work or school, what happens during the day, and what you do in the evening. These moments are important to describe because they help you share your life with others. And the good news is, you don't need very advanced vocabulary to do this. Just simple words, short sentences, and some practice will make a big difference. For example, let's say I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. I can say, I wake up at 7 in the morning. I stretch and get out of bed. Then I brush my teeth and wash my face. After that, I take a shower and get dressed. I eat breakfast around 8 o'clock. I usually have toast and tea. Then I leave the house at 8:30 to go to work. Now you try. Think about your own routine. What time do you wake up? What do you do after waking up? Try to answer in English, even if it's just in your head. Now let's repeat with a short story for listening practice. Listen carefully, and then try to say the same thing about yourself. My name is Anna. I live in New York. I usually wake up at 6:30 in the morning. I turn off my alarm, sit on my bed for a moment, and then go to the bathroom. I brush my teeth and take a shower. Then I get dressed and prepare my breakfast. I like to eat eggs and drink orange juice in the morning. At 7:30, I leave the house and take the subway to work. My office is in Manhattan, and it takes about 40 minutes to get there. Now think about your own city or town. Can you describe how you go to work or school? Don't worry about making mistakes. Just try to use simple English and keep practicing. Here's a small exercise for you. I'll say a few sentences, and I want you to repeat them after me. And think about how they apply to your life. I wake up at 6 in the morning. I brush my teeth and wash my face. I eat breakfast with my family. I go to school by bus. I study in the morning and relax in the evening. Now repeat those sentences and replace them with your own actions. If you don't take the bus, maybe you walk. If you don't eat with your family, maybe you eat alone. These little changes will help you personalize your English and feel more confident when you speak. When you talk about your day, you can also use words like first, then, after that, next, and finally to organize your thoughts. For example, first I wake up. Then I brush my teeth. After that, I take a shower. Next, I eat breakfast. Finally, I go to work. These transition words make your speaking sound more natural and smooth. Try using them when you describe your day. Here's another example with a different routine. First, I make my bed. Then I drink a glass of water. After that, I check my phone. Next, I feed my cat. Finally, I leave the house. Let's do a short speaking practice together. I will say a full paragraph and then pause so you can try to repeat it in your own way. Today, I woke up at 6:45. I was still a little sleepy, but I had to get up. I brushed my teeth and washed my face. I made some coffee and ate a banana. I checked my emails quickly and then got ready for work. I wore a blue shirt and black pants. I left the house at 7:30 and took the bus. It was a little crowded, but I arrived at the office on time. Now think about your own day. What did you do today? Try to say it in English using similar sentences. If you need to, pause this video and speak out loud to practice. At the A1 level, it's also important to learn basic vocabulary for everyday activities. Words like wake up, get up, take a shower, brush your teeth, eat breakfast, go to school, study, have lunch, go shopping, come home, cook dinner, watch TV, and go to bed. Try using each word in a sentence. I wake up at 7. I take a shower in the morning. I eat lunch at 1 o'clock. These basic sentences are the building blocks of your speaking fluency. Let's try a small quiz-style practice. I will say a sentence, and you try to say what activity it is. Ready? I do this after sleeping, usually at 7 a.m. What is it? Yes, it's waking up. I do this before going to work. I use water and soap. What is it? Right, it's taking a shower. I do this in the evening. I sit with my family and eat. That's having dinner. I do this at night. I close my eyes and rest. Of course, it's going to bed. Practicing like this helps you remember vocabulary and use it confidently. Let's move on to talk about afternoon routines. For many people, the afternoon includes lunch, work or school tasks, and maybe a short break. Let's listen to another short routine. In the afternoon, I usually have lunch at 1 p.m. I like to eat rice with vegetables. After lunch, I go back to work. I answer emails and attend meetings. Sometimes I feel sleepy, so I drink a cup of coffee. Around 3 p.m., I take a short walk outside. It helps me feel fresh and focused. Think about your own afternoon. What do you usually eat for lunch? Do you take a break? Try to describe it in English. Now here's a little exercise. I'll describe a day and you tell yourself what is happening. Sarah works from home. At 12:30, she goes to the kitchen and makes lunch. She eats pasta and drinks water. After lunch, she washes the dishes. Then, she sits at her desk and continues her work. She writes reports and talks to her team online. At 4 p.m., she finishes her work and takes a break. Now, repeat this story in your own words. Try to keep it simple. You can say, Sarah eats lunch at 12:30. She eats pasta. She works at her desk. These are great sentences for beginners. Let's continue by talking about what happens in the evening. For most people, the evening is a time to relax, spend time with family or friends, and get ready for the next day. Learning how to describe your evening routine is just as important as your morning and afternoon. You can use simple verbs and time expressions to talk about these activities. For example, I come home from work at 6. I change my clothes and wash my hands. I help my mother prepare dinner. We eat together at 7. After dinner, I watch a movie or read a book. I usually go to bed at 10. Let's practice that with a small story. My name is Ollie. I live in Lahore. In the evening, I come home from work around 6 o'clock. I feel a little tired, so I rest for a few minutes. Then, I help my wife in the kitchen. We prepare a simple dinner with chicken, rice, and salad. At 7:30, we sit together and eat while talking about our day. After dinner, I help clean up the dishes. Around 9 p.m., I sit in the living room and watch a cricket match. At 10 p.m., I go to my bedroom, brush my teeth, and go to bed. Now try to create your own story like this. Think about what you do in the evening and try to describe it in a few sentences in English. Let's also do a small paragraph together for shadowing practice. I will say the paragraph slowly so you can repeat it after me. In the evening, I like to relax. I finish my work and come home. I change into comfortable clothes. Then I spend time with my family. We talk, laugh, and sometimes watch TV together. Later, I have dinner. I enjoy simple food like soup, rice, or vegetables. After dinner, I clean up the kitchen. I take a shower and read a book before bed. Around 10 o'clock, I go to sleep. Now try to repeat that, but make it about your own routine. Now let's talk about some useful expressions you can use when talking about your day. Instead of just saying, I wake up, you can say, I usually wake up at 7. Or instead of saying, I go to work, you can say, I leave for work at 8:30 in the morning. These time expressions help give more detail. You can use phrases like, every day, in the morning, after lunch, before dinner, at night, or on weekends. Here's an example. Every day, I wake up at 6:30. In the morning, I eat a quick breakfast. After lunch, I take a short walk. Before dinner, I study English. At night, I write in my diary. On weekends, I visit my grandparents. Try to create a paragraph like this about your own day. Now, let's move into another kind of practice. This time, I will give you a few questions, and I want you to try answering them in English. These are the same types of questions you might be asked in a simple conversation with a friend or a teacher. First question, what time do you wake up in the morning? Try to answer, I wake up at. Second question, what do you eat for breakfast? Try to answer, I usually eat. Third question, how do you go to work or school? Try to answer, I go by. Fourth question, what do you do in the afternoon? Try to say, in the afternoon, I. Last question, what time do you go to bed? Your answer could be, I go to bed at. Even if you can't say everything perfectly, don't worry. Just try to say as much as you can. Now, let's imagine a full day from start to finish and talk about it like a story. This is a great way to practice speaking in the past tense as well. Let's say, yesterday, I woke up at 6:30. I got out of bed and brushed my teeth. I took a shower and got dressed. Then I made some breakfast, toast, and tea. I left the house at 7:45 and walked to the bus stop. I took the bus to school. My classes started at 8:30. I studied math, English, and science. At 1 p.m., I had lunch in the cafeteria. After lunch, we had 2 more classes. School finished at 3:30. I took the bus home. When I got home, I helped my mother cook dinner. We ate together at 7 o'clock. Then I did some homework and watched TV. I went to bed at 10:15. Now, try to talk about your yesterday in the same way. Use simple past tense and go step by step through your day. Let's review some useful verbs that we use when talking about daily routines. Wake up, get up, brush, wash, eat, drink. Go, take, come, study, work, cook, clean, watch, sleep. Try to use each of these verbs in a simple sentence. For example, I wake up at 7. I brush my teeth after breakfast. I go to work by car. I take a nap in the afternoon. I watch TV at night. This helps you get used to using the verbs correctly in real sentences. Now here's a short exercise for writing and speaking. Write down 5 sentences about your morning routine. Then say them out loud. Next, write 5 sentences about your afternoon routine and say those out loud too. Finally, write 5 more about your evening routine and practice saying them. This kind of exercise helps improve your writing, pronunciation, and speaking fluency all at the same time. Now let's do another short listening practice with a simple daily story. My name is Tom. I am a university student. I live in a small apartment. I wake up at 7 a.m. every day. I make my bed and take a shower. I eat cereal and drink coffee. Then I walk to university. My classes start at 9 a.m. I study biology and chemistry. At 1 p.m., I eat lunch at the campus cafe. After lunch, I go to the library to study more. In the evening, I come home, cook pasta for dinner, and watch a TV show. I usually sleep at 11 p.m. Try to listen again and then say the story in your own words. This will help you remember sentence structure and daily vocabulary. Let's continue practicing by focusing on connecting your ideas using time markers and simple transitions. This helps your daily routine sound more natural in English. You can use words like first, next, then, after that, in the afternoon, later, in the evening, and finally. These words help organize your thoughts and make it easier for others to follow what you are saying. Here is a full example using these connectors. First, I wake up at 6:30. Next, I brush my teeth and wash my face. Then, I prepare breakfast and eat it with my family. After that, I get dressed and leave for work. In the afternoon, I usually have lunch around 1 p.m. Later, I return to my work and finish my tasks. In the evening, I come home, have dinner, and relax. Finally, I go to bed at 10 p.m. This is a simple and effective way to describe a full day using clear transitions. Let's continue with guided speaking practice. I will say a sentence, and you can repeat it and think about your own version. I usually wake up early every day. After waking up, I wash my face and brush my teeth. For breakfast, I often eat something simple like bread and tea. In the afternoon, I usually do my work or study. In the evening, I spend time with my family. I go to bed around 10 o'clock. These kinds of sentences can help you build your confidence when you talk about your routine. Now let's add more vocabulary that is often used when describing your daily routine. These include actions like get dressed, make the bed, prepare lunch, take a break, reply to emails, write in a notebook, water the plants, take out the trash, go for a walk, talk on the phone, read the news, do homework, and relax on the sofa. Using these in context can make your speech more fluent. For example, I make my bed every morning after I wake up. I water the plants in the morning before I leave for work. I take out the trash in the evening after dinner. I relax on the sofa for a few minutes after I come home. These small sentences add variety and detail to how you speak about your day. Let's listen to another example and try to follow the routine. Emily is a college student. She lives with her parents. She wakes up at 6:45 every weekday. She quickly takes a shower, gets dressed, and eats breakfast. She leaves home at 7:30 and walks to the bus stop. Her classes start at 8:30. She studies history, English, and geography. At noon, she eats lunch at the university cafe. After lunch, she goes to the library to study. She comes home at 4:00. In the evening, she eats dinner with her family and helps her younger brother with homework. After that, she watches a TV series for an hour. She goes to bed at 10:30. Now try to speak about your own day just like this, using simple sentences and keeping the same structure. Let's continue with another part of our routine, weekends. Talking about weekends is a great way to express personal hobbies and show what you like to do in your free time. For example, on Saturdays, I wake up a little later than usual. I have breakfast with my family, and then I help clean the house. Sometimes I go shopping or meet my friends. In the afternoon, I cook lunch or go out to eat. I like to watch movies or play games in the evening. On Sundays, I usually stay at home and relax. I call my relatives or read a book. In the evening, I prepare for the next week and go to bed early. This kind of paragraph can help you describe your free time clearly. Let's go through a short story now for listening and repeating. On weekends, I don't work. I wake up at 9 a.m. I enjoy a big breakfast with eggs, toast, and fruit. Then, I clean my room and listen to music. I sometimes meet my friends and go to the park. We talk and laugh together. In the evening, I like to cook something special. I try new recipes. Before bed, I read a few pages of a book or watch a video online. I go to bed at 11. Now you can think about your weekend and try to speak about it using similar words and structure. Let's continue with short speaking challenges. These challenges help improve your fluency. Think about what you usually do on Saturday mornings. Describe it with simple sentences. For example, I usually wake up around 8 a.m. I take a shower and go out for breakfast. Then, I go to the market to buy fruits and vegetables. After that, I return home and relax. Next, think about your time with family or friends. You can say, I spend time with my family. We talk, cook together, and enjoy dinner. You can also talk about food. For example, I like to eat rice and chicken for lunch on Sunday. In the evening, I relax by watching TV or reading. I usually go to bed a little later than on weekdays. These short speaking practices help you connect words and improve your confidence. Let's now learn some useful phrases for small talk. These phrases are helpful when talking about your day with classmates, coworkers, or neighbors. You can ask, "How was your day?" Or, "What did you do today?" You can answer with, "I had a busy day. I stayed home today." "I worked all day. It was a relaxing day. I got a lot done today." These simple sentences are very natural and will help you join in small conversations easily. For example, someone says, "How was your day?" You can say, "It was great. I cleaned the house and cooked dinner." Or you can say, "Not bad. I stayed home and watched a movie." These types of exchanges help you feel more connected when talking to others in English. Let's do another listening practice using a short story. James is a teacher. He lives in a small town. Every weekday, he wakes up at 5:30 in the morning. He makes coffee and reads the news for a few minutes. He then gets ready for work and leaves at 6:30. He drives to school and arrives by 7:00. His classes start at 8:00. He teaches English and math. At noon, he eats lunch in the school cafeteria. After lunch, he prepares lessons for the next day. He comes home at 4:00 and takes a short nap. In the evening, he plays guitar and listens to music. He eats dinner with his wife at 8:00. Before going to bed at 10, he reads a few pages of a novel. Listening to this kind of story helps you learn how to describe someone else's day and also gives you ideas to describe your own. One of the best ways to improve is by speaking to yourself in English throughout the day. You don't need another person to practice. While getting ready in the morning, try saying what you are doing out loud. Now I'm brushing my teeth. I'm washing my face. I'm making tea. I'm eating breakfast. I'm putting on my shoes. I'm locking the door. This simple self-talk helps your brain learn to think in English, and it becomes easier and more automatic over time. This habit can improve both your speaking and thinking skills. Let's continue by practicing how to describe a full day using both present and past tense. This will help you become comfortable switching between the two tenses when talking about your routine or what happened yesterday. When you describe what you usually do, use the present simple tense. For example, I wake up at 7 a.m. I go to work at 8 a.m. I eat lunch at noon. I go home at 5 p.m. I watch TV in the evening. I go to bed at 10. But when you talk about what happened yesterday, you use the past simple tense. For example, yesterday I woke up at 7 a.m. I went to work at 8 a.m. I ate lunch at noon. I came home at 5 p.m. I watched TV in the evening. I went to bed at 10. Learning to shift between present and past tense is a key part of becoming fluent, and this skill comes from practice. Let's go through an example, and then create a practice version from it. Here's the present tense version. Every day, I get up at 6:30. I brush my teeth and take a shower. I eat breakfast and then leave for work. I start work at 9 o'clock. I have lunch at 1 p.m. and finish work at 5. I go home, relax, eat dinner, and then go to bed at 10. Now here is the past tense version. Yesterday, I got up at 6:30. I brushed my teeth and took a shower. I ate breakfast and left for work. I started work at 9 o'clock. I had lunch at 1 p.m. and finished work at 5. I went home, relaxed, ate dinner, and went to bed at 10. Now you can try creating your own version. First speak in present tense, then try the same sentences in past tense. Let's practice another daily routine in story form. This story will be in the present tense. Maria is a nurse. She lives in a small apartment near the hospital. She wakes up at 6 a.m. every day. She takes a quick shower, gets dressed, and eats breakfast. She drinks coffee and reviews her work schedule. At 7 a.m., she leaves for work. She walks because the hospital is nearby. Her shift starts at 7:30. She works in the children's department and checks on patients, gives medicine, and talks to parents. At 1 p.m., she has a short lunch break. After lunch, she continues working until 3:30. Then she walks home, changes clothes, and rests. In the evening, she cooks dinner, watches TV, and goes to bed at 10. This simple story gives you a good structure to follow when talking about someone's day. Now let's listen to the same routine but in the past tense. Yesterday, Maria woke up at 6 a.m. She took a quick shower, got dressed, and ate breakfast. She drank coffee and checked her schedule. At 7 a.m., she left for work. She walked to the hospital. Her shift started at 7:30. She worked in the children's department and checked on patients, gave medicine, and talked to parents. At 1 p.m., she had a short lunch break. After lunch, she continued working until 3:30. Then she walked home, changed clothes, and rested. In the evening, she cooked dinner, watched TV, and went to bed at 10. Now you try describing your own yesterday, using the past tense in a similar way. Let's practice combining times of the day with your actions. In the morning, we often do things like wake up, shower, eat breakfast, and leave the house. In the afternoon, we work, study, or run errands. In the evening, we relax, spend time with family, and prepare for bed. For example, in the morning, I usually wake up at 7. I take a shower and make breakfast. In the afternoon, I go to work and attend meetings. In the evening, I come home, cook dinner, and relax with a book or TV. Now try speaking about your own routine, using morning, afternoon, and evening as your guide. Here's another story for listening and understanding. Arif is a student in Pakistan. He wakes up at 6:30 a.m. and says his morning prayers. Then he brushes his teeth, washes his face, and gets ready for school. He has breakfast with his mother. Usually, it's paratha and tea. He leaves the house at 7:15 and walks to school. Classes start at 8 a.m. He studies science, Urdu, English, and math. At 1 p.m., he eats lunch with his friends. After school finishes at 2:30, he walks home. He rests for a while, then starts his homework. In the evening, he watches cricket with his father and helps with dinner. After dinner, he studies for 1 hour. At 9:30, he goes to bed. Think about your day and try creating your own story like this. You don't need to use difficult words, just keep it simple and clear. It's also useful to learn how to talk about the things you like or don't like doing in your day. For example, I like drinking tea in the morning. I enjoy reading in the evening. I don't like waking up early. I don't enjoy cleaning the kitchen. These sentences help express your feelings and opinions about your day. Try using phrases like I like, I love, I don't like, I hate, I enjoy, I prefer. You could say, I like walking to work. I enjoy having lunch outside. I don't like doing homework at night. I prefer eating dinner early. These expressions make your daily conversations more personal and interesting. Let's now do a longer speaking practice paragraph that you can listen to and repeat. I usually wake up around 7 a.m. I get out of bed, brush my teeth, and take a shower. Then I make a cup of tea and sit at the table for breakfast. I like to eat eggs with toast and sometimes fruit. After breakfast, I get dressed and start my work. I work from home, so I sit at my desk and check emails. I take a break around 11 a.m. and stretch my legs. I eat lunch at 1 p.m., usually something light like rice and vegetables. In the afternoon, I continue working. Sometimes I have meetings. Around 5 p.m., I finish work and take a short walk. In the evening, I cook dinner, talk to my family, and watch a TV show. I like to read before bed. I usually go to sleep at 10:30. Now try to say your own version of this. Think about your real day and follow the same structure to describe it. Another important part of talking about your day is discussing your evening. Evenings are often the time when we relax, meet friends, spend time with family, or finish tasks. To express your evening routine in English, we can use some useful phrases and structures. For example, you might say, I got home around 6 p.m. Or, in the evening, I usually go for a walk in the park. You can also say, after dinner, I watch TV for a while. Or, sometimes I read a book before going to bed. These sentences are simple and good for A1 and A2 levels. If you had a busy evening, you could say, I had to work on a project. Or, I cooked dinner for my family. If your evening was relaxing, you might say, I just stayed home and rested. These types of sentences help you express how you spend your free time. You can also describe your mood. For instance, I felt tired after a long day. Or, I was happy to spend time with my kids. Let's try a paragraph for practice. Imagine you are sharing your evening with a friend. You could say, I got home at 6 o'clock. I was very tired. So I changed into comfortable clothes and made some tea. I watched a movie on my laptop and then had dinner around 8. After dinner, I talked to my friend on the phone for a while. Before going to bed, I read a few pages of my book. It was a peaceful evening. This paragraph uses simple past tense and regular vocabulary that is perfect for beginner and elementary learners. You can also practice describing different types of evenings, such as one when you went out with friends or one when you had to do chores. For example, last night, I went out for dinner with my friends. We ate at a small Italian restaurant and talked for hours. I came home late, but it was a fun night. This gives you more vocabulary to express social activities. Now, let's move toward the end of the day. Talking about going to bed is also part of describing your day. You can say, I went to bed at 10. Or, I felt sleepy, so I went to bed early. You can add more details like, before sleeping, I checked my messages. Or, I brushed my teeth and set my alarm for the next day. These small sentences help you practice daily routine vocabulary. You can say, I turned off the lights and fell asleep quickly. Or, I couldn't sleep well because I was thinking too much. These are very natural things to say in English. A great exercise for this is to write a short paragraph about your night routine. Let's do an example. After talking to my friend, I got ready for bed. I brushed my teeth and washed my face. I turned off the lights and lay down in bed. I checked my phone for a few minutes, and then I tried to sleep. I felt tired, so I fell asleep quickly. Try to write a paragraph like this, using your own experience. The more you describe your daily actions, the more fluent and confident you become. Now let's review everything we've practiced so far. In this video, we talked about how to describe your full day using simple English. From waking up, getting ready, eating breakfast, going to work or school, having lunch, spending the afternoon, coming home in the evening, and going to bed. We covered all the basic parts of daily life. These are the areas where you can practice speaking English at the A1 and A2 level. Every day, you can describe your routine, your activities, your feelings, and even small changes in your day. This will help you improve your vocabulary, grammar, and sentence structure. A helpful habit is to keep a daily journal in English. Write 4 to 5 lines every day about what you did. For example, today was a normal day. I woke up late because I didn't sleep well. I had a quick breakfast and then joined my online class. In the afternoon, I helped my mom in the kitchen. In the evening, I watched a funny video and laughed a lot. Now, I'm going to bed. Writing like this daily will build your fluency naturally. You don't need to write big stories. Just short, honest thoughts about your day. Speaking aloud about your day while looking in the mirror is another powerful technique. You don't need anyone to practice with. You can be your own speaking partner. Describe your day out loud. For example, say, I went to the market today. I bought some vegetables and fruits. It was very hot outside. I came home quickly and took a shower. These kinds of simple speaking practices will help you train your brain to think in English. Now let's imagine another practice example together. Pretend you are telling your friend about your Sunday. Here's a model paragraph. Yesterday was Sunday. I woke up a bit late around 9 o'clock. I didn't have to go to work, so I made pancakes for breakfast. After that, I watched some YouTube videos and relaxed. In the afternoon, I went to the park with my younger brother. We played football and enjoyed the fresh air. In the evening, I called my aunt and talked to her for an hour. Before going to bed, I watched a documentary and learned something new. It was a nice, peaceful Sunday. You can pause the video now and try to speak or write a paragraph like this. You can use the same structure and change the activities to match your own day. This will help you practice tenses and vocabulary naturally. Another useful way to talk about your day is by discussing what you are going to do tomorrow. This is called using the future tense, and it helps you prepare for conversations where you need to express your upcoming plans. For example, you can say, tomorrow, I will wake up early because I have an important meeting, or I'm going to visit my friend in the afternoon. Both will and going to can be used for future actions. When someone asks you, what are your plans for tomorrow? Or what are you doing this weekend? You can start your answer with, I'm going to, or I will, and then continue with your activities. Try saying, I will study English for 1 hour, or I'm going to cook dinner for my family. These are short and simple, but they help build confidence. Now let's do a little more practice together. Think about your day tomorrow. Imagine it clearly. Then say out loud, tomorrow, I will wake up at 7 a.m. I will take a shower and get ready for work. I will have a cup of tea and eat breakfast with my family. At 9 a.m., I will start working. I have a meeting with my boss at 11 a.m. And after that, I'll write emails and complete my tasks. In the evening, I will relax and maybe watch a movie. Now, say the same in a more relaxed way using going to. I'm going to wake up early and take a shower. I'm going to eat breakfast. Then I'm going to work on my project. I'm going to take a break in the afternoon. And in the evening, I'm going to enjoy some free time. Try saying these examples slowly and naturally. Repeat them again and again until they feel easy for you. When you describe your day in English regularly, your speaking improves naturally. You become more fluent and confident. You don't need to memorize difficult grammar rules to talk about your day. Just practice speaking about your morning, afternoon, evening, and night using simple sentences. This helps train your brain to think in English. You can also record yourself speaking and then listen to it. Try asking yourself questions like, what did I do today? What am I doing right now? And what am I going to do later? Then answer them in full English sentences. This is how you can practice speaking even when you are alone. You don't need a partner. You only need consistency and interest in improving. Here's a final routine you can practice every day. When you wake up, look in the mirror and say, "Good morning. Today is a new day. I'm going to do my best." Then describe what you will do. I will go to work. I will meet my team. I will have lunch at 1 p.m. And I will return home by 6. In the afternoon, describe what you are doing. I'm writing an email. I'm taking a break. I'm walking outside. At night, reflect on your day in English. Say, today I learned new things. I worked hard. I had a good day. Now I'm tired and I will sleep soon. These simple habits help you build fluency faster than just reading grammar books. Now that you've learned how to talk about your day in English using simple A1 and A2 level sentences, make sure to use these phrases every day. Practice out loud. And don't worry about making mistakes. The more you speak, the more confident you become. Remember, your English doesn't have to be perfect. It only has to be clear and understandable. Try speaking in front of a mirror, or record yourself and listen back. This builds both your listening and speaking skills. Also, repeat the examples you learned today. Repetition is key. You can even write them down to help remember them better. If you found this video helpful, make sure to watch it again and practice along with me. Each time you watch, try to repeat the sentences louder and more naturally. If you want more daily English speaking practice videos like this, don't forget to subscribe to our channel English in Minutes and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a new lesson. We upload new English learning videos every day to help you speak fluently and confidently. Thank you so much for watching this video today. I hope you enjoyed practicing with me. Keep practicing, keep learning, and remember, English is just a skill. And like any skill, it gets better with daily practice. You're doing great, and I'm proud of your progress. Take care, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Bye for now.